Hello, hello, hello. Uh, we are we are starting technical session 2. I'll request Mr. Bharat Bhojne, Vice President of Asia Pacific Region, Ekland Marketing Company Limited, Pune, to chair this particular session. With us, rapporteur is Dr. S.R. Shinde and facilitator is Engineer Sandeep Dere. In this particular session, we have got 4 presentations. Mr. Praveen Sharma, founder Flora Consultant Pune. He will be presenting on revolutionizing indoor farming. Then second presenter is Mr. Murli Manohar. He is Managing Director, FarmTech Consultancy. Harvesting the Future. Then Mr. Shailesh Modak, founder and CEO of 365D Farms, Warje, Pune. Indoor movable vertical farming for saffron. And fourth speaker is Mr. Vishal Bhosle, founder and CEO, Nexcel Tech Private Limited, Pune, artificial lighting in vertical farming. So I'll request chairman to start this particular session. First speaker is Mr. Praveen Sharma.
Mr. Praveen Sharma, please. Okay. I would like to introduce Mr. Praveen Sharma. He is founder Flora Consultant Pune. With over 35 years of international experience, Mr. Praveen Sharma is an agricultural engineer and a visionary leader in the establishment of large-scale export-oriented hydroponic project. Specializing in the advanced technologies such as vertical farming, hydroponics, and aeroponics, he has successfully executed numerous export-oriented flower and vegetable projects across Africa, Middle East, and India. As the founder of Flora Consultant, a prominent turnkey project company, Praveen spearheads the design and implementation of large-scale vertical farming using hydroponics and aeroponics. He is also visionary behind the Lonavala-based Center for Innovation and Training in Vertical Farming, dedicated to the advanced research and development in vertical aeroponics farming. He has successfully commercialized a revolutionary vertical farming technique called revoponics. Additionally, he is the proprietor of Globe Florex, a company manufacturing proprietary aeroponics equipment and automation system to support the cutting-edge agricultural practices. Currently, he focuses on vertical aeroponics farming in climate-controlled greenhouses and indoor warehouse, along with urban farming models, emphasizing sustainable and innovative agriculture. His projects have earned international acclaim, including prestigious awards such as Dutch Floral Award in Netherlands and the Sainsbury Best Grower Award in the UK. Beyond his entrepreneurial pursuits, he serves as the president of Indian Society of Floriculture Professionals, actively contributing to the advancement and growth of this field. I sincerely request him to please proceed with his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. I am very happy to be delighted to be here. It's a wonderful gathering, and today when you get into this hotel, you feel that you have entered to maybe 20 years ahead of agriculture, futuristic, and each hall has got something new happening. So I am very happy to be part of it. And I thank the organizers for inviting all of us. Many of our leading professionals from vertical farming are already here, and we are going to share a lot with you. To start with, we discuss our first subject, that is vertical farming. Now, whoever has gone through the agriculture universities and passed BSc, MSc degrees, this term vertical farming was not in the books. But as on today, this is a fact that this is the industry which is going to be with you for next 3, 4, 5 decades, because there is a need to have higher production from a given area. To know the right term vertical farming, is whole world is even today is confused. What is vertical farming? You may come across somebody saying, how do you choose vertical farming or greenhouse farming? Whereas the vertical farming is different and indoor farming is again another classification. So I think before I move, I would like to put certain classifications before you to understand what is vertical farming. Yes, that is another name, 3D farming. We were working in 2 dimensions. Now we have to make use of the 3rd dimension. And yes, CEA is another very popular term being used all over Europe and Western world, that is controlled environment agriculture. Now, how do we define this? In a nutshell, you can say that anywhere, if you have a given land, you make use of the vertical space, you call it vertical growing. That vertical space could be open field, it can be inside a tunnel, it can be inside a greenhouse, or it can be inside a warehouse. But so long as you are using the 3rd dimension, it should be known as a vertical farming. That is a major term which should denote vertical farming. We are not talking about indoor farming. Indoor is again a word which is for enclosure. It does not talk of vertical or horizontal. So we are first defining the term vertical farming. Vertical is anything grown vertically is vertical farming. We have to now define 2 different classification of vertical farming. One is under the way it is being grown, how the surroundings are. So that is the first classification. Another is the technique which we are going to use for growing vertical farming. That is number 2. So in the first one, this is the wider classification of vertical farming you can take up. That is vertical farming open field, vertical farming in NVGH, that is naturally ventilated greenhouses, climate controlled greenhouses, vertical farming, TCA, that is total environment controlled agriculture. This is where you can say that it is indoor farming, because you are completely indoor inside a warehouse. And then we have TCA, but it is hybrid vertical farming. So here you are controlled, you are inside, but you are trying to make use of certain natural resources to supplement your energy requirement. This is vertical farming, which is outdoor. This can be done comfortably. Even anyone want to grow, we have stack pots available, even all the nurseries. Just take them up and try to grow something and enhance your productivity from a given square meter. This is a typical model which is popular for naturally ventilated greenhouses. Now, when you grow like this, today, this particular industry, indoor or so-called vertical farming, it is being launched from the West. It is mostly from US, because a lot of money from Silicon Valley was pumped into this technology to make it AI enabled, to make it use of robotics. So they have talked about vertical farming indoors only. But when they see this kind of one of the most energy efficient growing system, NVGH, and you grow all the leafy greens here at very high production, this is the technology which they should have. Even in the United States, they have something like California, Texas, and they have places where there is heavy snowfall. So this technology even is suitable for the states like California. But they have not yet got into it. With the grace of God, we are there. Basil grows wonderfully well in this NVGH, and the kind of productivity which you get is crazy. If you have the same thing in US, you can make huge money out of it. Now, this is the next one, that is climate controlled greenhouses, where you are using evaporative cooling. You add on to the energy consumption, because you have to use the motor for running the pad, and also the fans have to be operated all the time. So that is the additional cost which you have to incur in this kind of vertical farming. This is a video which was done in Dubai. It's a climate controlled greenhouse. Yeah, it's a very basic structure, but you can see the quality of produce and the way the crop has been grown. But it is CCGH, vertical farming, climate controlled greenhouse. You can see the blue strips and the yellow strips. Now we come to the next type, that is TCEA, Total Environment Controlled Agriculture. This is the place where we have kept the plant inside and we have taken total responsibility of making plant to grow and give us productive, commercially productive production out of it. So when you take the total responsibility of growing means it's not just nutrient. You have to ensure that plant takes all the light which is required, photosynthesis. What else? Temperature, humidity, airflow, CO2 levels, everything has to be maintained in a perfection. That's when you, and that expertise you must have when you go for such a huge investment. This is one of our project in Dubai where we have done. This is hybrid, where you have the same setup, but you allowed the sunlight to come. In vertical farming, almost 40 to 45% OPEX goes to LED grow lights because it consumes a lot of power. Every light has got certain wattage. So you have to use them to give the light. So you allow the sunlight to fall in. And that's when you find your crop grows. The cylinders, what you see are the CO2 cylinders, which supplement the carbon dioxide. Now, the next classification is based on the technique which you are going to adopt. What are those techniques? Vertical stake pot system, which I had shown you in the beginning, outdoor staking. Second is vertical A-frame. Third is vertical NFT grow towers. This is again unique grow towers which have got NFT system. Then you have horizontally stacked vertical growing NFT and vertical aeroponic grow towers. And then the last one is, sorry, there is a mistake. It should be rivoponics aeroponic grow tower. It's a rivoponic grow towers, not aeroponic. So that is the last. Now, when you have this classification, this is the typical A-frame. It's a vertical way of growing, and you can achieve as much as 25 to 30 plants per square meter in a climate controlled greenhouse or even in NVGH. This is the one, we call it vertical NFT system, where you can grow more number of plants in a given area, and it has got NFT, that is nutrient film technique. Roots are always in nutrient water. That is the nutrient film technique NFT is standing for. So we have done all the sorts of technique, and we ended up with vertical aeroponic grow towers. Now, this is the ultimate of all this technology which we have come across and we adopted. And this is one of our proprietary design. What we do here is it's just intermittent nutrient showers which come through the root, and they are intermittent. They are controlled with a thermal sensor, and they operate, and the plant grows. Roots are in the air for a certain period, and then again there is a shower, and that frequency is designed by a thermal sensor. Why again vertical aeroponics? It has got the great advantage. In normal NFT systems, you grow only leafy greens, but here you have liberty to grow various fruity crops also. Be it cherry tomatoes or chilies or even strawberries, you can grow in this system. There are different models. The number denotes like AGT 108. That denotes 108 plants. Then 48, 40, 48 and 60, these are for domestic. These are again number of plants. And then for the commercial growing, we have got RGT systems that has got as high as 174 plants in a single grow tower. Sorry. And this is a typical, again, it was being grown in Dubai, these strawberries, in a CCGS, that is climate controlled greenhouse. So today's topic was rivoponics, but before that, I thought that we must have a very good picture of what vertical farming is all about. This rivoponic, again, we came up while we were working with our given project in Dubai, where we were working with vertical aeroponic system. It was already installed, and then we were still working on how to make it more energy efficient. So the first thing which they had out of this is horizontal stacked vertical growing system, that is NFT. Now this design, if you see worldwide, most of the vertical farm, almost say 90%, will have this kind of design. This is a typical indoor farming design around the globe. And we also had in that particular project a small portion dedicated for that, which our promoter had already gone for. This is another one for indoor farming only. Recently, the Canadian companies have developed. It is again NFTs which are going on the both sides. In the center, they have put the light. So this we'll be comparing in our last slides. So this is the project in question where we have done all this. This is how it was planned. It is total 1 acre project. Development stages. This slide is important because it was a roof which was fully closed. But since we wanted to make use of the ample sunlight which is available, so we removed the roof and we brought in transparent material which had a high insulation value, so that the sunlight can come but heat cannot come in. So that is how we had converted that project into a hybrid project. This is not my selfie, but I am trying to show something. And what's that? Photon harvesting, reflective mirrors. So we have known that light is one of the key factor, and as much as light we can make sure that that falls on our leaves, we convert it into energy for our plants. So we had ensured that all the sides were put with the mirrors, which can reflect the light back to the plants. And this is a typical setup when it was brought in. It was having a control center. It was totally automated system. Again, that is designed by our team. And we had a supplementary light. It's not 100% artificial grow light, but supplementary lights. Grow by cubic meter. So somebody asked in vertical farming, what's your production per acre, per hectare? In roses and all that, we talk, what is your production per square meter? But if someone come across to you, you have to ask, what is your production per cubic meter? That's the right way, because you have to make use of the volumes around you. And this is when you have this kind of concept, you must have a very good the homogeneity of light, because you have taken responsibility of say 500,000 plants. You have to make sure that every individual plant gets the same treatment. That's the responsibility you have taken. Otherwise, those guys who are below, they are not been fed well, and those who are not top, they are enjoying good life. So they are going to complain, and you will be complaining later on because you won't get the good money out of it. So that kind of homogeneous study of PPFD, what we call it, that has to be monitored in this kind of system. One portion was dedicated for TCEA also in the same place. Now, here you can make out that the number of lights are on the higher side and operation hours are also high. So then that's where you see the difference between hybrid and the total controlled environment agriculture, which is indoor. Now, let's compare this kind of challenge. Since our company is involved in international projects, we offer our quotations to, even recently we have participated in one of the leading Canadian competition, and our system was adjudged one of the best as far as the energy is concerned. Of course, we could not win it due to other reasons. What we have to see here is, if you see it on the right side, this is the most popular system. Can I have a pointer? Pointers there in this? Anyway, I'll just show my finger on it. So this is a typical vertical staked with horizontal staked vertical farm. You will see it all over. This is the technique which is being adopted everywhere. What happens here? You are using only the one side of the growing system. The lower side is not used. Below is a light, LED light. Okay. So where I'm pointing is the LED light, which is throwing light on the lower plants. Vishal bhai, this is also for you. So what happens when you have a number one continuous light which is falling on the plants? The plant leaves are heated because of the temperature of the light. Number two, the backside of the light also has got temperature which is heating the upper NFT. That is the one thing which is adding on to your HVAC cost, because the heating, then you have to put more energy for cooling. That's why this gentleman in the center, he has put his lights in the center, vertically upward, so that both the lights are facing each other. So heat is solved, and then there is an open space in between. Next is, in total, this kind of structure, when you see the plants per square meter in the same volume, you reach to almost 90 to 100 plants per square meter. Whereas even both of them are close to each other because they are NFT and they are using only 180 degree of your growing space. But when you come here, you are using 360 degree. Reason being, you are using all around. That's number one. Number two, now when the HVAC system guy, he has to design, every tier here has got a different microclimate, because HVAC is releasing your cooling from the one zone or one area. It is not getting into it. So what they do is they have to install fans in every tier. Between every block, they must use the fan to homogenize the climate everywhere. Otherwise, there will be delta T and there will be delta airflow, because airflow also has to be uniform in all the tiers. That's when you make the plant grow in a unison. So all these disadvantages are removed in this system. Here you grow all over. Each plant is having independent microclimate, and you have airflow which is coming from down. So you don't get that kind of challenge to have many number of fans in between. So you save on the cost of fan. At the same time, you have almost 90 to 100% more number of plants in a given volume. So you make use of the space in the best way, and that is the objective of vertical farm. So with this, we started.
5 minutes to go, please.
Yeah, I'll just finish. So this is how this was done. And anyway, this is the video of this. You can see later on, but I'll just, when the crop is already in. So after this, again, we wanted to improvise and add more energy efficiency into it. And how you bring it? You have a sunlight which is falling between the pathways. So your plants which are already in the pathway facing, they are enjoying that sunlight. But those who are in between the row, they were not getting it. That's when we got the idea that if make them rotate, then sabka saath, sabka vikas. So there won't be any issue. So we did that. And that's the technique we call as rivoponic. And yes, Bharat Bhai's favorite product is being grown here. And the bricks they achieved was 14.7%. They celebrated that high bricks. And yeah, one of the tallest aeroponic grow tower in city of Burj Khalifa, the highest building. So we managed to have a highest grow tower in the same country. Free from any pesticides, fungicides, and most healthy, because strawberry in US study, they found that it contains highest amount of pesticide residues. Even in India, the kind of pesticide is being sprayed, it needs a big control. So in this particular system, we have managed to. Yeah, you can see the sunlight in the morning is just blazing our plants. And this is another farm which we have done in Dubai, which is TCA. It does not allow the sunlight. So it has got its own experiences. Agrivoltaic and hortivoltaic. Now, this is the theme where now we are working very sincerely to have a carbon neutral product. When you go with vertical farming, means all energy, energy, energy everywhere, and it may not become profitable. But if you go with green energy, there is a great scope. So we have launched this term called hortivoltaics. We have heard of agrivoltaic, but hortivoltaic is something which we have launched. The term is used for solar farms for utilizing space below the solar panels for agriculture production. That is a typical use of agrivoltaics, where somebody is making solar power and they try to make use of the space. But here, the term hortivoltaic is called technology adopted to produce horticulture products to ensure entire energy requirement of the horticulture production is produced by the farm itself by solar or other renewable energy resources, so that you are energy independent and you are just carbon neutral when your product is getting into market. And we have recently made a project in Dubai to grow strawberries and export to the other part of the world. Japanese market has already accepted those samples. So that is the level we work, thanks to the vertical farming. This is just a dream project where, and this is our Center for Innovation where we do all this research. All that what you've seen has been, all the research was done at this place. And we do various kind of crop protocols, productivity, which are the possible crops we can grow here. The cherry tomatoes, we have developed a technique called thrust production technique. So many things are there, different kind of grow systems and their results. And we have started the training recently for the students and technopreneurs. And hybrid cultivation. Hybrid is a very popular word, hybrid car, hybrid. So we decided to have hybrid growing. You can have fruity and the leafy both coming from the same system by optimizing the nutrients. So in the same tower, you have the spinach growing and also the cherry tomatoes. This is another rivoponics sample which is being done at our NVGH at our R&D facility. This is the next level growing, which is called RivoGrow process. So grow where you eat. This has been installed at Barclays Bank's Global Business Center here in Pune, thanks to engineer Rohan Sharma, who is happened to be here. He has designed this. It is IoT enabled, and the green leaves are grown there and consumed at the canteen directly, fresh and free from any pesticide, full traceability and healthy for anyone. Rivoponics is our technology there also. So this is how I can conclude that TCA farms for Indian context are not viable. One should not think about it because of the high energy cost. But hybrid TCA with rivoponics and hortivoltaics can do wonders. And that can do wonders in any part of the world if you can have your own energy generation. Then NVGH are highly viable. The kind of NVGH greenhouse you have seen and vertical farming, that combo is always viable if you have good marketing talent. Then tunnels is okay, but if you have this kind of towers at high altitude where already strawberries and other products are being grown, this can become very handy because you don't spend on the climate control. And Center for Innovation is open for the students to take training, and maybe you will play that small video where This one I just added at the later part. Yes, thank you. So thanks for bearing with me, and
We can
I'm okay.
go for 2 minutes questions if anybody has questions for this.
Had a great time.
Thank you.
So, yeah, how did the harvesting takes place?
I was a bit fast. There was one video where the sunlight was coming into the farm. We have scissor lifts where you'll see the guys go up and down and just collect the produce. And they have a sort of grading system, a big strawberry, small, medium, all they do there. And the product straight away goes to, because it's all dust-free, clean product. So no need of doing any other activity. Just pack and dispatch. Thank you.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
This is Dr. Jadhav. I have many questions, but I will restrict them. Maybe we will have discussion later. So it's a game about PPFD and photo period, right? So how you decide how much to rotate, and does that affect the biomass production? That is the first question. Second question I will be having. Everybody talk about the pesticide free, right? So some cancerous or carcinogenic effects come from fertilizers also, particularly NFT. So I just wanted to know your thoughts on these two issues. Thank you, sir.
Solid questions. Indoor farming is all about the game of spectrum and light, and that is the key. And when we talk of rivoponics in hybrid, our main objective was to harvest the light which is coming from the sun and then supplement. In the past, the plants which were inside, they were given almost say 70% of their requirement. So once we did rivoponics, we got benefit out of that rotation. As far as the DLI and PPFD is concerned, yes, for every crop, that is monitored very regularly and efficiently to ensure that plant gets exposure to light. If just a light is there, how many rotation it will require and how many time it will get exposed. On that basis, we decide the hours of operation of light. And yes, PPFD, again, it varies depending on the crop. But your question is highly, it speaks that you know the subject. And this is the subject all the young guys, they are supposed to pick up. Because if you have to get into not only vertical farming, but even in naturally ventilated greenhouse, the light plays major role. During monsoon, you find that production goes down. All over greenhouses, you find it is suppressed. So how you can enhance that productivity is by giving right kind of PPFD and that uniformity of light throughout. So I hope I answered. And then as far as the carcinogenic effect of the fertilizers, so right now, the main important thing is the kind of food which we are giving to the crop. All the basic nutrient, major, micro, and secondary combination and well-balanced food. We ensure that all what is given is being consumed by the plant, and we are not spraying any sorts of pesticide on the plant. So yes, they are pesticide-free, but they are as good as any other. It's not organically grown, but these are all inorganic fertilizer which are used in different combinations. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think we need to rush up. You have a question? Okay, we can take the last question, please.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sachin Dingre. So you talked about agrivoltaics and hortivoltaics. So nowadays another invention is there that cladding material itself is photovoltaic generate. That is actually folding type of panels are coming.
Yes. Yes.
So can you put some insight on that?
So, sir, now this is our dream project to have a hortivoltaic and then make use of the systems by which even the transparent windows are coming, which can generate electricity for you. And there's aggressive research is going on this particular field for solar power. end of the day, every square meter of solar panel or the unit which you put in, how much wattage you are able to harness out of it is your challenge. And second is, if it is transparent, what kind of light which is allowing it to go for our plants. So on these two combination, once you gain confidence, yes, that is the future actually, the cladding material which can generate electricity for us. So that is the way we have to work. And since we have so many young students and the staff here, in this direction, more research if we do, we will be the winner, because you can grow anywhere at very low cost and green energy. Yeah, thank you, sir.
I think one more question is there. Please give him the mic. This will be the last question, please.
Great work, sir.
Thank you.
Even I belong to the similar fraternity of the hydroponics. I just have one question, because a lot of, as a hydroponics grower, even we have to be very cautious. And what we are promoting is that it is a safe food for the future. And is there any food grade certification or food grade testing has been done for this? Because as per my understanding, a lot of PVC and HDP material also release the microplastics when they come in contact with the these highly charged ionic nutrients, and it is even dangerous than the pesticide, and it can also cross the blood-brain barrier, which is directly cause brain cancers and other cancers also. So any work has been done on this line? Just wanted your inputs.
See, so far we are using virgin SDP products, and when we export, this kind of concerns are raised by the importing countries also. And when they go through the product and they approve it, it is accepted. So all the countries which has got higher concern, they're also importing and making use of it. So it is better to be testified by the guys who are not known to us, and especially those countries who monitor it very strictly. So virgin SDP has done well so far for us. And the next question was, this was the only question.
Yeah, this was the one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you everyone.
We would now request our next